Welcome back to another episode of Bank Chats 2 Cents, a mini, more relaxed episode where we chat about interesting financial topics in the news or in articles or really anything fun that's financial related. Today we're going to check off that fun category. I'm Jeff Matevish, and with me, the man, the myth, the legend.
Drew Thomas. Yeah.
Okay, Drew. I'm hip, I'm down with the times, but I was watching a TikTok the other day, and they used so many new words and phrases that it was like watching a video in a different language.
I can believe that.
But the silver lining was first thing that I thought was this would make a good 2 Cents episode.
This is wonderful. That is really funny, actually, that you say that, because I read stuff all the time and I think to myself, ooh, I was on vacation and I emailed myself a good idea.
You were sending me stuff when you were on vacation.
Yeah. So we're talking about hip. What did you say? These are hip what?
I'm down with the times.
Down with the times.
They're hip, yeah.
Hip, yeah.
So I scoured the internet and found a handful of Gen Z terms.
Okay.
And we're going to quiz you and see if I give you the term, if you know what it means.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. That sounds good. Let's do it. I'm down for it.
Okay, you're down for it. You're hip. All right.
I am all that and a bag of chips.
All right. Number one, loud budgeting. What do you think loud budgeting is?
Loud budgeting. So loud budgeting, I'm going to say overspending.
Not quite. Actually,
Okay.
it's opposite. So it's...
So see, I would think that would be quiet spending is being...
Loud budgeting.
loud budgeting.
Yes. Loud budgeting is letting people know that you're good with your money.
Ah, okay.
So it's all about saving money. It was coined by a TikTok user. And the quote was, it's not, I don't have enough money. It's, I don't want to spend that money. So the term is all about being loud and proud about saving.
Okay. All right. I get it. I maybe I should listen more closely whenever you give me the term.
How about soft savings?
Soft savings. Okay. So I'm going to say soft savings is the opposite of loud budgeting. I'm going to say you don't have a lot of savings if you have soft savings.
Yeah. But yeah. In particular, they want these Gen Z people want to spend their money on experience, like travel and concerts, not so much tangible items.
You know, I think that there's that's interesting that you say that, because there's a psychological thing that I read about a long time ago, probably when I was in college, that actually says you get more long-term value out of experiences than you do things.
I can see that, yeah.
You know, and I never understood that whenever I was really young, because when I was young and I'd watch game shows with my grandparents, because like when I was a little kid, like game shows were on TV in the morning. That was what you watched. Press Your Luck and Price is Right and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they would give away trips. And I was always like, man, that really stinks, because you won a trip. Like, okay, you get to go on the trip, but then it's done. You don't have it anymore. As opposed to like getting a new computer or a new TV or a new car, right?
Right.
But they actually say that the trip gives you more long-term value and long-term happiness than the item does.
Huh. I'm actually an example of that. When I was younger, my family and I went to Mexico because I won that trip off the back of a TV dinner box.
Really?
Yes.
So Stouffer's gave you a trip to Mexico.
Hungry man. I'm a big boy.
That's cool, though. Really? Like, where did you go? Where in Mexico did you go?
We went to right outside of Cancun.
So was it like a resort?
It was a resort, yeah.
Okay.
All-inclusive resort, yeah.
So you went to like American Mexico.
We went to American Mexico, yeah.
No, seriously though, that's pretty cool though.
I mean, we did that for what, back then, $3?
Yeah. So did they say their whole family got to go?
Yeah,
like
we all got to go.
That's really neat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that does happen.
Not to me.
Well, it hasn't happened since.
All right, so what do we got next?
How about doom spending?
Doom spending.
Doom spending.
I don't know what it means, but it's fantastic. I love the term. Doom spending. I'm going to say spending money on things that you don't really want or that you don't really need.
Yeah. Doom spending is defined as spending money despite concerns about the economy. So
not really my personal economy, but the economy in general?
In general, yeah.
All right. So the economy's going in the toilet, but I'm still buying myself the new whatever.
Yeah. And I'll pull a U and I'll give you a statistic.
Oh, please.
27% of Americans doom spend to cope with stress, according to a study conducted from Intuit Credit Karma. For Gen Z, that percentage rises to 35%. So 35% of Gen Z are doom spending.
I mean, you know what, though? I think that applies to a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that I can honestly say there have been times whenever I'm just depressed, and so I window shop on Amazon. And
Treat yourself, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes the window shopping turns into actual shopping.
Yeah.
A little too easily these days with it.
I know. One click away and...
Yeah, the buy now with one click is like the most horrible thing ever.
Oh, my wife sends me like something to buy and she's like, can you buy this next time you're online? And by the time she, says another sentence, it's already bought.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's because you're a good husband.
Well,
what if she's
wrapped around her finger, I guess.
It's all right. I know your. I mean, I don't know your wife very well, but I know your wife. She's a fantastic woman.
How about, okay, this is a good one. How about cash stuffing?
Cash stuffing. Okay, well, I know it has nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
No. Do you want a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
We have covered this term many times before. This is just a new way of saying what we've covered in previous episodes of the full-length bank chats.
Cash stuffing.
Yes.
So, like, savings?
Yeah, it's envelope budgeting.
Oh, that's
a new way of saying envelope budgeting.
Why do we need a new way to say this?
I guess that's the cool hip way of saying it now.
You said hip a couple of times. I don't think hip's a cool term anymore. I don't know if cool's a cool term anymore. Come to think of it.
So yeah, apparently, though it's not a new term, it's become popularized by TikTok again.
So again, how do these? So we've talked in the past about how Gen Z is probably more technological with their money than almost any other generation. Like they use Venmo and they use PayPal and all this. So where do they get the cash to do the cash stuffing?
Maybe it's like everything else. Our generation, is coming back with clothes and habits and everything that we had, as our generation is now becoming popular. So maybe cash is becoming the next thing again.
I guess that's true. There's a lot of 90s stuff coming back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're not Gen Z though.
No, I'm millennial.
Yeah, you're millennial.
Yeah.
I'm on that cusp. I'm like the last gasp of Gen X. And then like the right on the bridge there between Gen X's and millennials. But yeah. So cash, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, cash stuffing. I guess there's another term. I didn't find too much on it. 100 envelope challenge that goes hand in hand with cash stuffing.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess, yeah. Every envelope has $1 in it.
Yeah. Free money.
Free money.
It's almost as easy as it sounds, but there's a little more to it.
Money that you've won? Like money, somebody gives you money?
Yeah, I mean, so not only like free money, but free gift cards, zeroing out your account balance. That's considered free money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Store credit.
Okay. I get you. All right. So money that you kind of found on the street, like found money.
Yeah. Found money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
Okay.
Money.
See, I would call that found money.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Free money. Yeah. The next one, we heard 2 Bank Chats episodes ago with Emma King.
Okay.
And I just assumed that it was, I didn't assume it was a new term.
Okay.
She used the term girl math. That is a Gen Z term, and I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I just thought that was something that she said.
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
Okay, now they call it girl math or gender math, but
okay.
It's refers to like creative justification for people spending their money. So an example would be someone buying Starbucks, and since it was under $5, it was pretty much free.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So that logic that doesn't quite make sense, but it makes sense in your mind.
Well, so again, I'm not trying to pick on any one gender or anything like that, but I'm from the generation where most of the women in my life are really good at looking at a price, and they look at a price and they say, if it's $5.99, it's $5.
Okay.
And if most of the men in my life, including myself, when I look at $5.99, I think $6.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you rounded everything by $1 one way or the other, my wife really, she just absolutely spends less than I do on the same stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
We're the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the next few they're not long terms or anything like that, but bread in terms of finance.
Okay, so are we going back to the 60s now?
Well, sort of.
So bread is like cash.
Yes. Okay. So bread is made of dough, which is another common slang for money. So if you're using the word bread now, they're not using dough. What
song is it that the Beach Boys did? I got bread. I think it's in I Get Around.
Get it?
Yeah. It's I get around. I get around, I get around, right, that one. But the lyric is at the beginning, it's round, I get around, get around. I'm a real cool head, I'm making real good bread.
Oh.
So
were they time travelers?
apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's in I Get Around by the Beach Boys, which was what, 1960 something. Yeah.
So okay. So the term's been around for a while. It's just become more
It
popular.
was also a music group, I might add.
The bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Band.
Sure.
Move on.
All right, Mr. DJ. This one came with like phonetics. Guap?
Like an avocado? Like guac?
No, guap.
Oh, guap.
Guap. Pronounced GWOP.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm feeling like Three Amigos, like Mexican, like guapo, like El Guapo. But that's I'm sure that's not right.
No, it's a lot of money. Guap means
guap is a lot of money.
Guap means a lot of money.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that in a million years. Okay,
like a serious amount of money.
So Bill Gates level.
Yeah,
money.
used in the sentences. I just got my first paycheck. Do you see me getting all this guap right now?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you just gave me that sentence, I wouldn't know what that meant.
So you're you're guap rich on payday, and
Yes.
then you're okay.
Then you got no bread.
Then you got no bread. Bread goes stale.
Secure the bag.
Okay, so secure the bag I only know because my wife's brother, right, always says secure the bag because he's the same age as I am, but he thinks of himself as being like 15.
Okay.
So secure the bag is basically like go out and earn the money.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I only know it because of him.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this. No, different Jeff.
Different Jeff.
Different Jeff.
Yes. That's right. We have lots of Jeffs in
We
our
do have
lives.
lots of Jeffs in our lives, yeah.
The 48-hour rule.
The 48-hour rule has nothing to do with dropping food on the floor, I'm sure.
No.
The 48-hour rule. I'm guessing, I don't know, as it applies to money? Like you have to pay your bills within 48 hours?
Not quite. So it's
You can just tell me I'm wrong.
well, I'm trying to find the right in your answer, but so it's waiting 48 hours before making a purchase. It's like a budgeting strategy. Like if you it makes you think about it before you actually go spend money that you may not actually have to spend.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. I get. Well, you know what? That kind of ties into the girl math for me because while I understand what you mean by the whole girl math thing, where it's like, oh well, it was $5, but it was really nothing. Like,
yeah,
I will do the 48-hour thing. But like, I'll give you an example. I'm currently in the process of convincing myself to go with a different subscription plan on something that I have at home.
Okay.
That is more expensive, but gives you more for your money.
Okay.
Right. So this thing that the subscription I'm looking at, typically I spend about $50 a year on it.
Okay.
They're increasing the price from 50 to 75. So it's going up by 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you can do a monthly subscription for $20 a month.
Okay.
Okay. So in my mind, this is the 48-hour thing plus the girl math, I guess. Right. In my mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to spend 75 anyway. So instead of it being $240 a year,
mm-hmm.
which is $20 a month.
Yeah.
It's actually not $240 a year. It's actually $165 a year. Right. Because we're going to spend the 75 anyway.
Okay.
Right. And then I'm like, well, if it's $165 a year and then there's a bunch of games that come with it and stuff. So I'm like, well, if I didn't buy 2 games at like $60 a piece, it's actually free. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I see the gender math.
So yeah.
Don't forget to cancel that other subscription when you go to the new one.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've learned
good point.
that one.
Yeah, we have learned about that.
The next one is one, again, we've talked about before. The term hasn't changed, but it was on this list, so I thought it was great to talk about or at least bring it up. Gen Z is now using the 50-30-20 rule.
Really?
More often.
The 50-30-20 rule.
Yep.
Yeah, we have talked about that.
Yep.
And it is a good rule. It really is. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
If you don't know what it is, go back and listen to that episode.
Yes.
See, we're not going to tell you what it is because we want you to go back and listen to the other episode.
Yes.
See, that's how we're tricky.
De-influencing?
Is it what it sounds like?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I don't know, how do you de-influence somebody? You're still influencing them, right? I mean, if I'm influencing you to not do something.
Well, it's other influencers. So with all of the social media now and all of the influencers that are pushing products and sponsorships, it's kind of, take a step back and don't cave into all of those influencers that are profiting off of, your spending if you don't have to do that spending.
That's, you know what? And you mentioned TikTok because you said a lot of these terms are on TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But TikTok, the TikTok shop, I might tell you, is that.
Yes, exactly.
It constantly is coming up in your TikTok feed now. I keep getting flashlights. I don't know if
Flashlights,
like what
okay.
you get. Like I keep getting these flashlights that come up and they're like, and laser levels.
Okay.
Flashlights and laser levels.
I get tablets.
Okay, yeah. And they're constantly pushing these things on me, and they're saying, "Oh, it's a great deal right now. You should buy it immediately before the sale ends."
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but that's exactly it.
So being disciplined about not caving into that is de-influencing.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Money dysmorphia.
Is that imagining that a $5 bill is bigger than it is?
Pretty much, yeah. It occurs when individuals feel richer or poorer than they are due to constant comparison with others online.
So that's a takeoff of body dysmorphia is
Right.
my thought.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it.
Once in a while, I rub two brain cells together and they just spark away.
You do better than I would have done if I didn't read this list first. So yeah, that was the short list that I found of current Gen Z
Gen Z
that are financial related. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not going back to like the 1920s. Yeah. I need some scratch. See?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, scratch was one for cash.
Yeah.
That was a slang term for cash. What is 2 bits? Let me ask you that. Do you know what 2 bits is?
Well, in programming terms, 2 bits is a little different than money. So
Yeah.
no, I don't.
2 bits is a quarter.
2 bits is a quarter.
2 bits is a quarter. You know that little song that everybody knows, but nobody knows the name of it? It goes bum ba bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
That one. The little musical thing there it's called Shaving a Haircut. And the lyrics were shaving a haircut, 2 bits.
Yes.
That's what it was. Shaving a haircut, 25 cents.
Didn't know that.
See? I know slang too. It's from 1930.
Because you're hip. We're going to get that back. We're going to get that term back. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the 2 bits deal, since you did the Gen Z terms, I went back and found some 1920s.
Oh, geez.
Slang.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not that I was alive in the 1920s, but some of these terms are still around. Some of them are really not.
Okay.
But it's been 100 years. You think about that.
Wow, yeah.
All right. So 1920s to 2020 has been 100 years. These are some of the terms that were used for money or money-related things 100 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think some of the terms for money were? Can you think of anything that would have been back then other than scratch and
dough?
Scratch and dough. Yeah, those are both in there.
Yeah, yeah. Coin maybe, or
no, not coin. So you got cabbage.
Cabbage. Okay.
So cabbage meant money.
Okay.
In addition to cabbage, you also had sugar that meant money.
Sugar. All right.
You also had, let's see, what else was it? Okay, what is a sawbuck?
A sawbuck?
Yes. What is a sawbuck?
I'm going to say it's not $1.
It is not $1. It is money, though.
So is it a coin? So I'm thinking saw as in the teeth or the ridges around a coin, maybe?
I think you're putting too much into it.
Okay.
A sawbuck is $10.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, a sawbuck is $10. Also, terms for money, spinach.
Spinach. Okay.
Spinach?
So we like our vegetables.
You got the spinach? You got the lettuce?
Okay. When you say it like that, I can hear that in like a movie or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You got the spondaloo?
No.
No. That's actually a term.
Okay.
Spondaloo. Okay. What's a yard?
A yard.
Yeah. What's a yard?
$300.
I could see where you would go with that, but no.
Okay.
No, it's $100.
Oh.
$100 was a yard. Also, a century is $100.
Okay, I could see the century. Yeah.
Which is where we get the term C-note from.
Okay.
All right. So we still call it a C-note.
Okay.
A lot of people still call it a C-note.
Yeah, sure.
But it was because it was in the 1920s, it was called a century. And
I didn't know that.
The C-note. Yeah. What is a box job?
Box job. Oh, I don't even want to guess that one.
A box job is a safe cracking.
Oh,
So
okay.
so if you were safe cracking, breaking into a safe, you're doing a box job.
Okay.
Drop a dime.
Spend 10 cents or $10.
Close. Spend 10 cents on what?
I don't know.
So it's making a phone call.
Oh, okay.
And usually to the police. So if
Okay.
you're dropping a dime on somebody, you're reporting them to the cops.
Okay, with one of those phones that has the tail, right?
Yeah, phone with a tail. Oh my gosh, that's true. Yeah, which I mean, payphones were a dime well into the 1960s, even.
I mean, even in the 90s.
Jim Croce just wanted his dime back from the operator whenever he talked to her.
I was born in the 90s, and I remember.
Jim Croce?
No. Payphones.
Yeah. No, do you remember the song Operator? We're going back to songs again. We did Beach Boys. Might as well do Jim Croce too.
I may, but you got to sing it.
Yeah, whenever he says Operator, can you help me make this call?
Probably not.
Yeah, and then but he says you can keep the dime in the song. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, coffee and donut.
I'm going to assume it's not a pastry and a drink.
No, not exactly. No.
Donut is a coin and coffee is a bill.
Now, coffee and donut is something that is cheap or of little value.
Oh.
So they would say something like, these are coffee and donut scissors. They're just cheap. They're cheap.
Okay.
They're coffee and donut.
They didn't have Starbucks or Krispy Kreme back then.
Also true. Okay, I missed another one on money that you said about vegetables was kale.
Kale.
Kale. As also, so you got cabbage, kale, lettuce, and
Spinach.
Spinach, yeah. These are sort of money adjacent. What is ice?
Ice. Diamonds?
Yes. Very good. Diamonds. And then one other one here I got for you. What is oyster fruit?
Oyster fruit. Oh. Pearls.
Yes. See, you said you wouldn't be able to do this very well, but you did pretty well.
2 out of 30 is not bad.
Maybe it's a 20s decade thing. The 1920s were big on slang.
Yeah.
The 2020s big on slang.
It could be, yeah. 100-year, cycle.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, you can go back and look at some 1920s slang beyond money, and it's just weird. It's
a whole nother language, yep.
It is really a whole other language.
Well.
Yeah, heavens to Betsy.
I can't even think of any of them right now.
All right. Hey, that was fun.
That was.
I like it.
Yeah.
So if you know any slang terms that we didn't touch on, let us know. Yeah. Drop it in the comments or let us know. Send us an email. There's a link in the description. You can click on that. You can send us feedback on the show. Love to know if you have any slang terms that maybe we didn't touch on or some old slang terms that you think maybe should come back.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be a good one, yeah.
Like 2 bits.
Like 2 bits.
You can't buy anything for 2 bits.
We'll change our name and not 2 cents anymore. We'll be 2 bits.
Ooh. Yeah, see, we should have done that. That would have been awesome.
Because of inflation.
Good times. Thanks, Jeff. That was fun.
Hey, no problem, Drew.
This podcast focuses on having valuable conversations on various topics related to banking and financial health. The podcast is grounded in having open conversations with professionals and experts with the goal of helping to take some of the mystery out of financial and related topics, as learning about financial products and services can help you make more informed financial decisions. Please keep in mind that the information contained within this podcast and any resources available for download from our website or other resources relating to bank chats is not intended and should not be understood or interpreted to be financial advice. The host, guests, and production staff of Bank Chats expressly recommend that you seek advice from a trusted financial professional before making financial decisions. The host of Bank Chats is not an attorney, accountant, or financial advisor, and the program is simply intended as one source of information. The podcast is not a substitute for a financial professional who is aware of the facts and circumstances of your individual situation. Thank you for listening. Please check out our full library of episodes, which can be found on the AmeriServ.com website. You can also download or stream the podcast from your favorite podcast app.